Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/AckleyAttack427TheThomasFan1 to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey guys, this is AckleyAttack4427 here with, well, I guess it's time for me to do another response/rant video as normal And well, I guess I know it's probably been a long time coming for sure for me to talk about this one for sure, but given to what is happening within the past week, I do feel the need to bring up this subject matter for sure, so yeah, and to give you guys a little context of course, what I'm going to be talking about for sure, allow me to refresh your mind on my part how now, if you may recall, well over a week ago, I actually went to go see and take a thoughts video on one of the two movies that I actually saw pretty much as part of my double feature that I did right around last week, which is, of course, Markiplier's film, which he actually pretty much released, which is, of course, Iron Lung, so yeah. And yeah, I did talk about that, and of course, pretty much my thoughts video on the hag, pretty much, well over a week ago, probably by the time this video goes live, and I did actually say what I need to say, of course, that movie for sure. I really enjoyed it for what it is. It's pretty much got a really immersive and yeah, really great story. Yeah, the acting is actually really good for sure, and even the production shot, yeah, the production design is also really outstanding, and that's just to name me a few, of course, my part, so yeah, but then again, I did go over everything that I need to say about that movie during my thoughts video on that, so if you want a little bit more pretty much of a full-on analysis, then I do highly encourage you check out my thoughts video on that particular movie to really help get you the idea, so yeah. I decided to bring it up once again because, well, we actually did get some really great news in regards to that movie from what I can gather, and that being, of course, pretty much, despite pretty much a lot of the critics' reviews we're getting is mostly mixed at best from what I've actually seen in terms of box office results as of now. Yeah, I think currently as we speak, during the time this video is pretty much being posted for sure, it has made well over $30 million at the box office, up against the film's budget of course, $3 million. So yeah. Honestly, I think from what I've actually seen, that is really a great pretty much to see by far, because yeah, I think from what I've actually seen, I really do think that movie really deserves to have pretty much that much money being made for sure. And honestly, I think it's been a long time coming, I'm not gonna lie, because yeah, I think when you really bear in mind, of course, everything that goes on while Markiplier was making that movie, he really took a lot of risk to really let this film come to life for sure, and I guess pretty much from my perspective, I still fully love and respect Markiplier as a content creator for sure, and I really do think his videos on his channel are actually well worth watching for sure, so So yeah, and despite the fact that I never actually been up to date with, of course, his content for quite some time now, for sure, I still fully think that he actually still puts out some really great stuff for sure, and even looking back on some ones that he did like years and years ago, probably going like a decade plus old for sure, I still think they're well worth the watch from what I've actually seen, and yeah, I think it is actually really quite nice, pretty much on my part, and I still highly encourage anyone to actually go watch his stuff for sure. So I guess pretty much if anything, yeah, I'm really quite happy to see that he's breaking out to the big leagues and actually pretty much make pretty much a full-on independent feature film that he actually pretty much wrote, produced, direct, acted, and of course finance all by himself for sure, to which honestly to me I really do think is actually really quite surprising for sure, because yeah, I think when you really think about it, hands down, much like the original video game that it's actually based on, the movie itself is actually independently made for sure, and yeah, and honestly, I think pretty much from my perspective, from what I've actually seen, how now, I do know pretty much whenever I talk about movies, hands down, I think fully pretty much from what I can gather, I think like 90 to 95% of course, the movies I talked about, especially, of course, my thoughts videos for sure, they're actually handled by some pretty much some big name studios that we all know for sure, who really work hard to strive to really make the movies the best that they can for pretty much for everyone to see on the big screen for sure, and there's a whole lot out there, like of course you got Disney, you got Warner Brothers, you got Universal, you got Paramount, and you even got Sony as well through either Columbia Pictures or even TriStar Pictures for sure, and that's just to name me a few from what I can gather, and let's not forget to mention there's other studios pretty much that I do believe they own, but still can actually produce some pretty much some good stuff for sure. Like of course you got 20th Century Studios over at Disney, and you got Focus Features for Universal, and you got New Line Cinema for Warner Brothers for sure. And again, that's just to name me a few from what I can gather. So yeah. I do know for the fact that pretty much showing pretty much a movie by the big name studios out there is actually quite nice, but I guess for me, from what I can gather, as much as we do love some big name movies released by pretty much other studios for sure, I think it is actually quite rare, or I guess pretty much of anything, that sometimes we would actually get something that's pretty much a movie that is, of course, independently made for sure, and yeah. I guess pretty much of anything, independent films from what I've actually seen can sometimes be rare to come by for sure, and yeah, but I do believe that there actually might pretty much be something interesting with them if they can actually pull off something really great for sure, and of course, from what I've seen with Iron Lung, I really do think Markiplier really knew what he was doing to really make that movie a reality for sure, and yeah, and not to mention, he really took a lot of risks from what I've actually seen in order to really see that movie come to life, hands down for sure. Sort of like how pretty much with the original Iron Lung video game, pretty much the developer of that really worked hard to make it the best game that he can actually make it for sure, and I do applaud him for exactly that, hands down. So yeah, again, can be tough, yes, but as long as, of course, you actually have the right ideas in mind and how you're going to execute them properly, I think you're going to be in for something really great. And yeah, with what I've actually said in my thoughts video on the Iron Lung movie, I really do think Markiplier really accomplished that quite well for sure. And even before I actually got to see the movie for myself on the weekend, it's slated to come out for sure. I've had plenty of friends and stuff actually went to see it for themselves, and yeah, they actually really enjoyed it, hands down, and yeah, with their reactions compared to mine, I agree with them, hands down. I think with what I've actually said, I still enjoyed it, hands down. I really do think it is actually very well made from what I've actually seen, and I do stand by my point on exactly that for sure, so yeah. And now I am fully aware that around that said time, the critics' reviews have actually pretty much came in for sure, and they are rather mixed from what I've actually seen. And currently, as of now, pretty much the movie, according to Rotten Tomatoes, has pretty much is currently seeing like below like 60% from what I've actually seen, which is actually not that bad from what I can gather. I think with movies with like either a 50% or a 60% from what I've actually seen, I think it does sig fine for sure. There's nothing really anything that wrong with it, hands down for sure. It just shows that they think the movie it's alright. To which, yeah, I do know it is understandable from what I've actually seen, hands down. Hell, I dare even say I might have had the same reaction pretty much for a good chunk of movies I've actually seen over the years, for sure. But again, I do stand by my point and what I had to say about Iron Lung, pretty much for myself, for sure. I still really liked it for what it is, and I really enjoyed it for what it is, and I do stand by my point and why I have to say why I actually gave the film a 9.5 out of 10 as my final score for sure. I really do think it is very well deserving of that, hands down for sure. And I guess in all honesty, I'm really glad that I actually got to see it alongside Send Help for sure, to which, for the latter, again, I still really enjoyed it for what it is, and I really do think it is actually a really great movie, hands down, that really gave us something great from director Sam Raimi, and I think they really did accomplish that, hands down, and don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Send Help for sure, but I really do think Iron Lung really won me over a whole lot more, hands down, because yeah, I think pretty much the whole point of the movie, even looking back on my thoughts video that I did some time ago, it really wanted to try to give itself a very creepy and yet immersive experience in the cinema, and I think it did accomplish the job very well, hands down, to which, yeah, I think it is actually the best way I can describe Iron Lung in my opinion. I really do think it is actually a very immersive movie-going experience, hands down for sure, so yeah. But either way, I think it's probably what I can gather on, of course, my part, hands down, so yeah. And of course, pretty much of anything, probably, I think another thing I should mention in regards to that movie, I think I know, I'm fully aware of the heck, given to what I've actually mentioned earlier. I guess a lot of people, pretty much, a lot of people think that movies done by professional YouTubers don't always go very well, hands down for sure, but honestly, I think there's pretty much, there can be some good quality, hands down. In fact, I never actually seen any movies done by professional YouTubers that really actually turned out great for sure, but you may never know what will come up for sure. But I can definitely name a few examples from past to present where, of course, they actually did try to hang up for sure. Like, of course, back in like the early 2010s, if you may not remember, Nickelodeon and Lionsgate actually pretty much tried their hand in, of course, adapting Fred Ficklehorn into a full-on movie trilogy plus a TV show. And from what I remember looking back, I know a lot of people really didn't like them, hands down for sure, to which I guess is understandable because, well, yeah, I think I haven't actually kept up to date with Fred pretty much in a long time for sure. In fact, if anything, I think the character pretty much himself, of course, pretty much on his YouTube channel is no longer relevant from what I can gather, so yeah, but that's one good example from what I can give for sure. Okay, yeah, maybe it's not the best from what I've actually mentioned, but I think it is probably the one that I could think of, and I think another example from what I've actually seen is, of course, pretty much another well-known YouTuber, which is, of course, Smosh for sure. They actually did try their hand at, of course, making their own movie, hands down, and I haven't seen it hands down, but I know pretty much a lot of people were really dividing on, of course, that said movie for sure. In fact, I wouldn't know. I never actually saw it for myself, but only saw the trailers for it, hands down, but we may never know from what I've actually, from what I can gather for sure, and of course, as a pretty much another recent example from what I can gather for sure. In fact, surprisingly enough, it actually came around before Iron Lung, pretty much a few months ago. Is of course when pretty much movie reviewer and well-known YouTuber Chris Stuckman actually pretty much wrote and directed pretty much his own horror film called Shelby Oaks, and yeah, and I am fully aware that it's garnered up some mixed reception from what I've actually seen for sure, but then again, I haven't really seen it hands down, so I guess pretty much if anything, I may never know hands down, but I do applaud Chris Stuckman for working hard on that movie for sure, and for it to get picked up by pretty much for a full-on theatrical release by Neon for sure. I really do think it is actually quite a nice accomplishment for sure, so yeah, so I guess give it to what I've actually mentioned. Those are, of course, the few examples from what I can gather, where, of course, some professional YouTubers wanted to break out into the big leagues in terms of movies and TV shows from what I've actually seen. To which, don't get me wrong, I think from what I can gather, YouTube actually does work differently compared to pretty much movies on the big screen, or of course TV shows on the small screen, hands down for sure, and yeah, all that sort of stuff from what I can gather for sure, but then again, I'm just scratching the surface from what I can gather, so yeah, but I do know that they can actually be done pretty well if given some really great material to actually work with, and yeah, as long as, of course, it'll actually keep to the love, soul, and heart of course, why we love these professional YouTubers to begin with, hands down, and yeah, and actually be on the same level, hands down. I think it really is actually quite, I think it can actually work quite well, so yeah. And I'm not saying pretty much I want Hollywood to actually turn down professional YouTubers for sure, no. No, I really do want to see, of course, the pretty much the fame and exposure that the professional YouTubers are getting for sure actually break out into the big leagues for sure. In fact, yeah, I still know during my time pretty much posting videos on YouTube for about 17 to 18 years now for sure. I really do think it will actually be quite nice, hands down. In fact, In fact, if anything, probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to make videos on YouTube to begin with is not because I do it because it's something I really love, hands down. But it's mainly because I really want to show my full-on passion and talent to actually pretty much see if I can pretty much get myself in working in the film industry one day for sure. That's actually the whole point from what I can gather, just showcase on what I can do so that way I can break out into the big leagues for sure. And that is pretty much, and that's something I've actually picked up on over the years, hands down for sure, during pretty much since I started out in my early years, hands down for sure, and thankfully, after about 5 years, hands down, I want to grow and evolve, hands down. I still actually picked up on everything that I've actually learned during my classes at college, during my whole 8 years over there for sure. I can actually implement it, and of course, pretty much all of my future videos, hands down, and I'm really glad that I'm still sticking with what I'm doing right now for sure. It really helped me out a whole lot, hands down, so yeah. But, of course, pretty much of anything in regards to that, as well as, of course, getting myself in for, of course, conventions and events that I will go to, I still know, hands down, that I still want to see about one day breaking myself to pretty much be part of the film industry one day for sure. That's still on my mind, hands down, but I just really don't know on when exactly that's going to happen for sure, but we may never know, hands down, so we'll definitely see what will come up later on down the road for sure, so yeah. But I guess until then, going back a bit to what I have to say about Markiplier with Iron Lung, yeah, like I said, I do applaud him for doing whatever he can to make it the best movie that he can actually put out for sure, and I think he really did accomplish the job very well in my opinion, so yeah. And of course, you might be wondering to yourself, now that pretty much Markiplier did what was considered impossible and actually release his own movie on the big screen, what's next, hands down? Well, in pretty much one of his recent videos that he actually put up on his channel some time ago, he did hint from what I can gather that a lot of fans are demanding for the film itself to now be released onto digital, as well as, of course, onto DVD and Blu-ray, hands down, and of course, with what we've actually learned from him, hands down for sure, he is actually currently working on that as we speak, and of course, it'll only be a matter of time for when it's actually gonna come around for sure. Seeing of how the movie itself is actually released by him independently, I think the same thing is going to happen pretty much for the film's digital release, as well as, of course, its DVD and Blu-ray release that's gonna be coming up, and to me, I'm actually really excited for that, hands down for sure, because, yeah, I guess if that is the case for Markiplier to release his movie on the big screen independently, like, I think he should do the same thing for the film's digital release, as well as, of course, its DVD and Blu-ray release, hands down, and yeah. And I do believe, pretty much, it might actually be well worth it if that actually does happen. So I guess, pretty much of anything, I'd be up for getting the film onto a Blu-ray once it actually comes out for sure. Yeah, maybe I might pick it up at my local Walmart if they do have it available, or I think it might be available on Amazon for me to pretty much buy online for sure, But then again, we'll definitely wait and see what happens, hands down. Maybe we'll get more information later on down the road from Markiplier for when that's going to come around for sure. So yeah, but that's at least what I can say, of course, that front for sure. So until that comes around, I still think Iron Lung is definitely well worth watching. I do stand by my point in what I have to say in regards to that movie for sure. And if you haven't seen it yet, I do highly encourage you do so, hands down. I think you're going to be in for a great time, and And I think this movie is definitely a great one to check out for sure. And I'm really glad that I got to talk about it in my thoughts video for sure. And I stand by my point on what I have to say about it. It's definitely well worth the watch in my opinion. So yeah. And I guess on that thought alone, I think I might as well end this video here for sure. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and by all means, let me know down in the comments down below on what you think of course, pretty much on what I've actually talked about for sure. So yeah, but that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this this latest video, and well, I think, speaking about what I actually said about me talking about Iron Lung, and of course, in my thoughts videos for sure, yeah, pretty much of anything, pretty much for, I guess in case a lot of you guys are wondering on what I'm going to talk about in my next thoughts video, well, I am shooting right around this Valentine's Day weekend to go see the new Sony Pictures animation film, GOAT, So yeah, I'm quite curious to see how that movie's gonna turn out by the time I do actually go see it for sure. So I will let you guys know on what I thought about it after I go see it for myself for sure. So yeah, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD and Sam Shepard. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyTackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is AckleyTack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.